Hello, dear students. Very warm welcome from Professor Dr. Zia Ahmed. Today's small lecture is going to be on cultural linguistics. Let us see how does it work because it's very important as there is a deep relationship between culture and linguistics. Let's see what historically cultural linguistics is important. It has been believed that the roots were provided by Boas, the famous critic of linguistics and theorist. He talks about that there is anthropology and ethnolinguistics. They both combine hands and help us develop cognitive linguistics. These are foundational bases of the cultural linguistics. And therefore, Boas becomes the key figure, along with Sapirov, Lakoff, Johnson, and Farzad Sharifian. Farzad Sharifian is the latest entry into it, who has modernized and improved upon the previous models of cultural linguistics. Cultural linguistics emerged formally in 2000s, especially because of Farzad Sharifian's work. According to that work, this became a really significant study. Let us see how it became so. The core principles which involve into cultural linguistics are cultural conceptualizations, cultural schemas, cultural categories, cultural metaphors. So if these four are understood very well, one is able to understand what is cultural linguistics and how does it function. Let us proceed to look at them one by one briefly. Cultural conceptualization. It is shared cultural ways of perceiving the world. In any society, as we can have an understanding that society and its people have some of the concepts which are shared by them together, and as a result, those concepts become the whole understandable situations of that society. And as a result, these concepts pass from one generation to the other. And as a result, ultimately, they become symbols, metaphors, and understandable items of the culture of that particular society. For example, English idiom, time as money, which may be taken as spending time, others view time as relational cyclical. Some other people may be understanding that when we talk of time, it is only about relationships or it is about cyclical nature of time. So one can see how the shared experiences of the social members or society members create conceptualization. For example, here, time is a concept, but it gives different meanings in different societies. In some societies, it may be only about spending time. In some societies, it may be about money. In some societies, it may be about relations. Or in some societies, totally scientific view that it's cyclical may be taken off. So that is the way how concepts take place or conceptualization takes place in the model provided by Sharifian about cultural linguistics. Then comes the cultural schemas and categories and metaphors. Cultural schemas are again shared frameworks guiding interpretation, for example, hospitality. This is what we can have as cultural schema. Hospitality, for example, in most of the societies is taken care of to be something supreme value or virtue, and this is shared by most of the social members. And they take it as a kind of formation when, for example, somebody is a child, somebody is very small. From that time, the person begins to learn what kind of things become important in his or her society. Because of this situation, schemas begin to develop in the mind of a particular person. Schemas may be taken like pictures, schemas may be taken like images, or the frameworks which happen in the mind when somebody experiences. And these things become permanently part of the brain, and that brain recognizes as soon as it is able to see the similar kind of things in the social setup. Same is the case with categories. There are the categories which become kinships or relationships or family or the friends or the fast friends, etc. In that way, classifications can be made of the cultural schema in order to see what relationships are going on, and the person who is understanding these categories will be taking his culture in these categories as well. Last thing is metaphor. Metaphors are very significant and important because cultural metaphors, if are known to the people, they can understand language better, culture better, and can learn and teach these things in a proper way. For example, language reflecting shared experiences, like it may be some argument on the war or any supports, these arguments become part and parcel of one society. As in our society, we have cricket, a kind of mania in our minds. Wherever the cricket match is going on, especially between Pakistan and India, our folks begin to reflect on it, talk about it, and excited about it. They therefore give an argument which becomes the part of parcel of the society. In that way, many of the metaphors develop in a society as cultural metaphors. So these are three most important things, that is cultural schema, categories, and metaphors. They become conceptualized in order to make cultural linguistics of a society. There are many approaches in order to understand the cultural linguistics. The very first thing is the ethnographic field work. For example, if we go and try to conduct ethnographic study in the field, at that time it will be definitely talking about cultural linguistics. Same is the case with corpus-based linguistic analysis. There are many corpuses which have been developed as per the socio-linguistics or psycho-linguistics of the society, wherein the cultural patterns have also been talked about, and these become the part of the cultural linguistics later on. Discourses, definitely discourses are the statements of the society about itself, of the individual about itself, or that of the others. When we analyze it, we are definitely analyzing linguistics with respect to culture. So discourse analysis can also be the part of cultural linguistics. Then there is the intercultural comparison across languages and context. We know many of the cultures when we read their language, when we read their literature, and from there we come to know about the cultural patterns which are taking place, and one or two cultures can be compared when such a study is conducted with respect to language and the context in which culture develops, then definitely it becomes cultural linguistics. So cultural linguistics can work according to these methodological approaches as well. Cultural linguistics can be used in many areas. For example, if we want to teach intercultural communication, or we want to understand what is the difference of other cultures, so that more and more misunderstandings can be reduced. If such a thing is possible, then definitely it's a very good application of cultural linguistics. Similarly, we are teaching English language and the languages in our classrooms. But if the cultural meanings are integrated with the teaching of any language, it becomes even more significant and interesting also. Because of this, language teaching and learning would become facilitated. An emerging field of world Englishes also involves cultural linguistics. For example, if we see or can help the other people see how localized conceptualizations of cultures is present, how it has been formulated, and what is its going to be future in the modern world, we are able to understand word Englishes better. So that is another application where cultural linguistics can be applied. After that comes translation studies. It is the most significant here to know that in translation, definitely one culture is that of the source language, other culture is that of the target language. We can understand both these things and make a very good translation if we can work on cultural linguistics and know the cultural metaphors of the people. That would help us do the translation work very easily. This field has got number of relationships with other fields. For example, this is definitely when cultural linguistics studies the ethnography. At that time, it becomes the part of anthropological linguistics also. When it focuses on social variations, it becomes the part of sociolinguistics. When it focuses on individual cognition, it becomes the part of cognitive linguistics. So, in that way, cultural linguistics helps us bridge all these three major fields of linguistics together. Because culture is almost involved in every part of language, so it has got relationship with many other fields also. We can in that conclude that cultural linguistics connects language, cognition, and culture. It fosters intercultural understanding and inclusive education in a globalized world. So, seen in this context, cultural linguistics studies are really beneficial because they not only help us learn and teach language, but also develop a lot of cognition about this area. We also come to know about the diversified cultures, and a number of misunderstandings may be removed. And as a result, intercultural harmonies and understanding develop. And while living in this world, which is a globalized world, we may be able to create an inclusive concept of culture, language, and teaching and education in this world if we are studying the things by introducing and knowing about the values of cultural linguistics. Dear students, thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have understood something. If yes, do not fail to hit the subscribe and the like button. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video.